Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It has been so long.
It's been a long one.
It feels like forever. I don't know if I've ever even been here. Gorilla Banner Podcast, here in studio with me, the famous Brock Washington.
What'd it do?
Matt Lofton.
I'm not famous.
No, Brock is famous. You're not famous.
You're infamous.
I mean, okay. Look, infamous.
Let's be honest. The real fame, right here. The band, Rella, joining us today. Alex and
Yo,
Alex
Tyler,
and
come on, Dan.
Tyler.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna let him fill it in. I was waiting on him.
Hey, there's that ball. You can pick it up.
Dropped a ball.
Hey,
you know what? I tried. You heard me. I tried to give him an intro, and he just messed it all up. How are y'all doing
set
today?
up somebody so well. It's up to them to do something to polish.
You can lead that horse to water.
But you cannot make it drink. You could drown it if you try.
You know, Dylan will drown it
Yeah.
every time.
So how are y'all doing today, gentlemen?
Good. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing good. It's a beautiful, beautiful one. Y'all were actually here in town playing a show last week, huh?
That's right. We were in town April 1st. We did an April Fool's kind of fun show with at South Saloon, which is like the oldest bar in Monroe that's still around. It's like original, which is cool. They always have a good time over there. And with 8 Feet Thick and Inside Voices, which is kind of like our brother band, if you will. We do a lot of shows with them.
I got you. Hey, it's always good to have people you know when you're touring around and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They were really great.
So if you did an April Fool's show, did you really play? Like, I'm kind of wondering.
Did you actually show up? Or?
Yeah, well, the Inside Voices even said, because we were running late, and they got there before us, and they were like, man, was this whole thing just a setup? Like, are they coming? Is there a show?
Dirty.
Posted it on your social media and everything, but
Yeah.
nah, bro.
I actually saw some really interesting April Fools, like, this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people on social media, I guess, since it's gotten so big, they really work some things in there. Caught me by surprise.
Yeah. What did y'all have any good April Fool's jokes in the group, or did anybody get pranked real well here lately, or?
Not really. Not
No.
really. No.
No
It's kind
surprise.
of the dull April Fools other than the show.
I got you. And then Matt was just showing me some videos of people picking up someone else's phone and throwing them at them.
Yeah, this really stupid trend started where like someone will snatch someone's phone out of their hand and they call it the catch a phone prank, and they'll just throw their phone at them, and if they drop it, of course, their fucking phone breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a prank. That's just being a dick.
Yeah, that's how you get your ass
Yeah,
whooped.
it's a terrible prank.
But that's how you find out how good my choke is, right there.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a question. I need to know some band history. Color me completely ignorant.
That's not, I mean, do we have to color you?
Not really. It's not hard. But let me know. I want to know a little bit about the name of the band, Rella. That's not something I've really ever heard as a name before, and maybe a little history about you guys. Fill me in. Tell me a story.
Rella, it came from a former guitar player of ours, named Taylor, and it's basically, it means a promiscuous, vile woman. It's basically just like a thotty 3000, if you will. Like,
Did you just say Thotty 3000?
I love it.
Right, the new and improved model with the V8 turbo.
I know what
it's
the-
just
Not the
The
turbo.
new hashtag, I know what
turbo
it is.
suction. That's right. So it's just that's where it derived from an Urban Dictionary, I guess. And I guess at the time it kind of related to a few of us in the band. We've had some, I guess, some relationship changes since then.
Had some relics.
Yeah, we've had some relas, R.I.P.
My new
So-
low-key insult to a woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, if you say it, in a suave way, you can maybe sound like you were telling her, like, some Italian word or something,
Well, yeah,
So
you could say you were
Rella.
ordering a Stella instead.
Yeah.
But I just wanted a Stella.
I like it. Well, so much about rock music tends to be about a woman, especially a dirty woman. So, yeah. I mean, all the
The
way.
definition of our name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I think you were right. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, you hit, boom, the sex part right on the head. So
Who's on drugs?
Everybody.
Who's not?
On the day of the week.
Yeah, depends on the day of the week.
Yeah.
And And so, what year would y'all consider yourselves a formed band? How long have y'all been around now?
I guess 2015. We released our first single, I think, in March or April of 2015.
Yeah, y'all were a band before that, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, before that, it started with 4 guys, and I wasn't even playing guitar yet in like 2014. And we were a Monroe-based band. I was living there at the time, and we were all Monroe guys. And just from then on, guys were moving away or this, that, and the other. So we kind of revamped. I got on guitar, which I always play guitar in bands except for that point, so it wasn't a big deal. So got back on guitar and hit up Alex and brought his skills to the table. And at that time, hit up Zach Coco and Jordan Hinkle, and we recorded an EP. So Zach and Jordan are no longer with us, though.
That happens, right? It seems to be a theme for any band or just a guy in a band that comes on. They're always like, people move around, man.
Especially
They
local
did,
level.
And what's cool is that I was in a band with their new members, Cade, who's he does vocals as well. He's on the record doing vocals, and on the newest record we're recording, we're taking more of a dual role. It's more of a 1A, 1B as far as lead vocalist, which I'm excited about. Cade joined the band, and Chris joined the band. I played with them years ago in a totally different band, and it's just cool that we've all kind of come back together and made this happen, and it's just been phenomenal. The response we've gotten from it, and just the support and the outreach from everyone, just really enjoying the product and enjoying what we're doing, and we're enjoying it, so it's been really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing great is achieved quickly, right? So you got to keep going at it. And sometimes, even though a guy might be a good friend of yours, it may not always be that perfect little chemistry. So, I mean, it's just always little tweaks.
So I have a question coming from someone with no musical inclination at all, like none.
He can't even drum out a rhythm.
He likes Kanye West.
Hey, you take that back. Take that. All right, so
I'm
listen.
not. You do.
Hang on.
I'm not.
Let me ask my question. I had a good question, a legitimate question. Like, people move around so much. How balanced do you have to be as a musician? You said you're back on guitar now. Is everybody in the band able to switch into anybody else's role, or is it something you adapt as you go?
Well, like I said, I had always played guitar. I've been a guitar instructor for years, and it's always been my number one. Why we started with me not on guitar, I can't really answer. I don't remember why or how that even came about, but it wasn't long before everyone was like, hey, play guitar too. So,
Okay, so it's not that you're a drummer, guitarist, and vocals. It's that everybody has their specialty.
Yeah, like for instance, Chris is a drummer's drummer. I mean, he's been going to NSU now. I think he's in his 3rd year, and I mean, that's what he does. He does all the percussion ensembles. The guy's been living and breathing drums since I met him. He was a junior in high school, and he was captain of the drum line then. So,
Drummer's drummer.
Yeah.
like that.
He's all about some drums. If you put a guitar in his hands, just put some earplugs in,
Yeah.
He's not transferable. Kay plays a little guitar, but, I mean, he's, again, really great bass player. He's all fingers and thumb. He's really, really come a long way over the years, too. So, really impressed with him. And Alex as well. I don't think you're going to see Alex on the drum kit.
I couldn't play drums to save my life.
Yeah.
And which one of you is the songwriter? Which one would be considered the songwriter?
We're a group effort. We really are. It just kind of comes from, I might write a section and Alex has a section and we'll come together on it. It's a lot of collaboration in this band, and we're really big on that. It's all about creating one product and working in the same direction. It's one mind on that. With the kind of stuff we're trying to do, just wouldn't work.
I got you. Now that right there, you got to put your emotions to the side if you're going to collaborate on lyrics, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I remember getting upset when my teacher would tell me what to change in my poems as a
You'd be like, no, this poem is mine. I made this.
Right.
Oh, I'm so happy. You
That happens from time to time, but mainly me and Cade are the lyricists in the band because we're the singers. Chris does do harmonies, so we do some 3-part harmony things going on. In fact, on our newest record, it starts with an a cappella harmony, a vocal section. It's like a 45-second deal, and we do it live as well. It's pretty cool. People don't expect it. They see this rock band setting up, and then all of a sudden we just start by singing in harmony. It kind of changes the mood, which is cool. But we don't really fight too much on lyrics and stuff. We kind of let each other breathe a little bit.
I got you. And so here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you do a show. Have you ever walked away from a show and was like, bruh, we got to change this or we got to change that? Or I mean, one of the things great about doing something live is you do get to see the reaction of people, right?
Oh, for sure. And one thing we do is we will record our live performances and critique them together and make
that's
notes.
cool.
I mean,
I like that.
Yeah, so we set up a GoPro and like record our whole live show.
Yeah, and that requires a level of self-honesty. That requires a certain amount of, you know what, I messed that up.
guy doesn't lie, so if you did it or if you didn't do it, it's going to be there. You're going to be able to see it and hear it. And, again, we make notes on each other, and I think everybody in this band's pretty good about, hey, I messed that up. I know I did. I've never had to go to anybody in the band and be like, dude, you keep messing this up. Can you not hear something? Everybody.
Right. Yeah. Now, do y'all do any in-ear monitors, or is it all just the backward-facing, backfire monitor whenever you play? Or do you even have that much control?
It would depend on the venue. We do have an in-ear system that we use that kind of keeps us all together, and it's not monitors, like nothing's mic'd and running through there. It's just basically a set walkthrough. There's some different things in there, some reminders, what song's coming up, this, that, and the other, especially when we do 3-hour sets. Those are really good because when you're in, an hour and a half into a 3-hour set, and you're like, hey, what song's coming next? Yeah, little prompt is usually cool.
Sounds like a lot of work.
That sounds brutal.
Yeah, one of the things I like about this not having any sort of script to it is if I decide to go off into the deep end, I can. I can't imagine the sort of discipline that requires of, all right, guys, I know your hand's cramping. I know you're dehydrated. Get back on it. Get back, I know from a fighter's perspective what kind of discipline that requires, just tie your belt on and keep going. But, oof. Man, my hat's off to y'all, and especially, hats off to the drummer guy. That 3-hour set drumming.
I encourage you to come check it out sometime. We're actually doing that. We're doing a few Shreveport shows, the 3-hour set here in April. Chicago, Tiki Bar, Strange Brew. We're doing a few shows in April, and we're also, I think we just got hit up for Mayfest after that. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, but I'd encourage anybody to come check it out, if anything, just to watch our drummer, Chris. Because if anything, people leave there talking about either the guitar stuff, the vocal stuff, or that crazy drummer they got back there. Yeah.
Is there such thing as a sane drummer? I don't think I've ever met a sane drummer.
They're all a little off.
Yeah.
I think it's
the timing's on, but their mind's off.
I think it's because there's so much blood in their calves all the time.
I like that. The timing's on, but the mind's off. Yes, I'm writing that down somewhere. That's good stuff.
That's a whole proverb there for you.
All right, so I tell you what, Matt's going to plug in his phone here real quick. There might be a little.
Keep talking. I'm going to find them.
Now, what song would you like us to play off the top off of? We're going to go straight to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to show you the quality of these guys' work.
The tube of you.
I'd encourage you to play just the second song, which is the Take Off the Danger, and it's really the kickoff for the EP. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the album.
And now, while he's finding this, this was all a home studio recording. Is that what y'all were saying earlier?
We did it all on my laptop, which is it's like a 2009 MacBook Pro. We did it all on there with a DAW, and we do have some advantages. We do have some good guitar record equipment. We have the Fractal unit and all that for the recording nerds out there. The Axe Effect sounds great. We use it live too. But we had some advantages, but mainly it was I engineered everything, tracked everything, included my own vocal parts, other people's vocal parts, guitar parts, mixed it, mastered it, and we released it. And want to give a special shout out to Caitlin Rose and Co-Creative. They did our artwork and everything that you see on our sites and on the album itself. If you ever pick up an album live or if you see it online, the artwork should be on the YouTube video. She did all that pro bono. just to help us out and get us going. And it really has.
Yeah, she did a killer job.
She did a great job, and she really captured what we were going for. So just want to give her a
That was the picture I posted yesterday or whatever I pulled off of y'all's Facebook. Is that what that was?
That was pretty cool.
That was cool. That was a little psychedelic, but at the same time,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, immersive. Yeah. So what was that name again? What was her name?
Her name's Caitlin Rose, and her group or organization is called Co-Creative. They really do a lot of stuff in Shreveport, shows, art things, painting competitions, and all kinds of community events. Really happy to know them and have worked with them for a few years now. Want to continue.
Sweet. All right. So Little Pop, as he
Yep,
plugs
pop
this
warning.
in.
Pop warning.
Ooh,
Ooh, that was a buzz, not a pop.
Buzz.
Entering
I
the Matrix.
apologize. We was trying to do that
Yeah.
before then, but we got our things. So this is called, what was it
Take
again?
off the danger.
The Take Off the Danger by Rella.
Wait, did you say the take off the danger?
Yes, the.
The take
Yes.
off the danger. Okay.
Hush and play it. All right. Not gonna give away your whole song there, but I enjoyed it so much I was wanting to keep it going.
This
Right.
is so much right up my alley with the alternative rock style. Like I'm going all the way back. I love it. I love it.
Now,
Thanks.
I mean, we can talk about, that is an alternative rock sound. It's a good rock sound, but I mean, you still had some shredding in there. But it was polished. That was clean.
Sounded
That was
professional.
thought through. And
We consider ourselves like a progressive rock band, and it's kind of a vague umbrella, but that kind of covers everything we kind of do. When people see our show or they listen to us, the comparisons I get as far as other bands is Incubus and Coheed and Cambria and some kind of Chon feel, some guitars and stuff like that. We get that a lot. In fact, the Will Nelly dudes, they definitely like to make that known. They troll a little bit.
I was actually trying to think of what the guitar was close to, and I'm glad you said Coheed and Cambria because I was drawing a blank on that.
Yeah, the guitar has that CNC feel to it.
Why was I thinking Crossfade? I guess that's an alternative rock I kind of came up on somewhere a few years back.
Alternative.
Or
I don't know about them, bro.
Crossfade. I don't know. I listen to all kinds of
Crossfade. That was
They kind of came after 3 Days Grace.
That was the So Cold song.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is that the So Cold song?
Yeah, that was So Cold and Colors. Yeah.
I had 3 albums, and I just kept going them all in rows. I had that and 3 Days Grace and something else.
I thought you were about to say
school.
3 albums of Crossfade.
No, they only have one.
I think
they only have one.
Who knows?
I only know
Sometimes
2 singles.
Sometimes bands get big like that, and then they fade out, and then you look them up one day on Wiki, and you realize the guy has 12 albums. It was just he only had the one good one in him.
Well, that one got him rich. So
yeah, but I mean, that was
awesome.
Good stuff. I definitely like that. Now you say sometimes one of you will write a section, and then the other one will write a section. I mean, what would you say when you're putting pen to paper? What is usually the driving force behind writing? How did you get into writing? Was there any moments for any of you that you were like, I like writing music?
Well, for me, if you're talking lyrics, which I think if that's what you're going for there, I went out to Los Angeles for a time. I was going to school out there, and I was kind of doing the musician thing. And I was in the heart of LA. I was in West Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of musicians, and I just found that the way to introduce myself to everybody was to do acoustic shows by myself, to show what I could do, to try to get on with other bands that are playing around, to show them what I could do. And at that time, I had not really opened up as a singer yet, so I just started singing and making it happen, and using some proper vocal techniques from my mom, who's a vocal coach. So props to her. And I started writing my own songs throughout the process, and kind of write my own lyrics and kind of get into a phase. Normally, when I write a song, I go off kind of the mood of the music a little bit and kind of what I was feeling when I wrote the actual music part, whether it's, a sadness point or a happiness point. This whole album, though, that we're talking about, the Rella EP, it's a concept record. There are characters in there. There are moments. The Take Off the Danger is the introduction, and basically the statement of, I'm not comfortable being where everyone else is so comfortable. I got to branch out. I've got to find something different. And that's the whole thing. And later on in the song, there's even doubt and deception in the same song. So there's different elements of that going on there with the character.
So you have a tendency to write the music first, as in a sound, and then you just try to encapsulate the words to match that sound.
Basically, and that just comes from, again, guitar, number one instrument, music, and instructor, and always dealing with music. And I think everybody else in the band is kind of the same way. We kind of write our music and put our feelings into that first, and then we can hear those feelings and feel those feelings, and that'll translate to the lyrics later on.
Now, would you consider yourself in a music family? You said your mom's a vocal coach. I mean, was you just raised around music? Music was going to be the thing.
I was raised by my mom, a single mom, and she was a piano instructor, vocal instructor, and she sang so many events. She was with a group called Truth years and years ago that they won a bunch of Dove Awards and things like that, Christian group. And she just really raised me in music all the time. And I got my first guitar when I was 9, but I didn't touch it until I was 11. And by the time I was 13, I was already learning Van Halen's first album, because I was into classic rock when I was way younger.
I went straight to the Van Halen.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was the kid at the show that was 12 or 13 with the Iron Maiden shirt.
Right.
They just wanted to finger tap everything. Like I've always just been into crazy guitar riffs and stuff like that. It's just always appealed to me.
Well, I hear it in the music, and I appreciate that because, I mean, I don't know that music really has moved past the guitar riff. I mean, it's still such a beautiful sound, and it's so riveting, and it has this driving sound to it, you know, that I think kind of even modern rock music's kind of gotten away from it just in
Well, they do the same system. There's a system
Yeah.
now, but that's what I like about your song was that it was just, I mean, it was crazy.
it was music going
Yeah, it was
in,
awesome.
in several directions, but it was cohesive at the
There
same
was
time.
layers.
It was like an onion.
Like an onion.
Oh Jesus!
Like a parfait or an
I knew where he was going with it, and I was trying to stop it, but it was
No,
too late.
You tried to beat him.
I already,
to the
yeah,
punchline.
you tried to beat me there.
Well, it's like when you know a guy's going to make a your mama joke, you try to beat him to the your mama so that, you know.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been that guy.
proclaim my ignorance in the beginning. So if I relate your music to onions, no, I mean that with the utmost respect because it was an onion that I deeply enjoyed.
That's as deep as he can reach.
Dylan is the wannabe punny guy.
Yeah, true. Oh, man, that is funny. All right, so that was awesome. Now, I get... One of these days, I'm going to strap his hands to the table because he can't seem to sit still. But then again, I did pump him up with like 300 milligrams of caffeine right here, so it may have been my fault.
If he's not trying to eat Chex Mix during the set, he's doing something.
He did try to eat Chex Mix the other day during the set. I mean,
Hang on, let me open this up by saying bullshit. I was clearly scarfing Chex Mix before we started. That way, I wouldn't eat it during.
No, you were sitting
were
there
trying to get
wondering.
started.
You were wondering, like, can I eat during the show? We were like, no.
and
I
you'd
did
see him
not
like
ask that. I
slowly
did not
reach for the
ask that.
bag.
No, you didn't straight out ask that, but it was obvious.
Now, I guess that does lead to a question: who's the goofy one in the group? There's got to be a goofy one.
I'll let you call that one.
Oh.
Dave.
It's hard to pick between those two.
Yeah.
Oh, you got two of them.
Yeah.
And then who's the serious one?
Pretty ridiculous.
Chris and Cade are like brothers. That when I met him years ago, it was to play with a whole nother band, a whole nother scenario. And I met Cade. You know, he's a bass player, a vocalist, and he said, "Well, I'm just letting you know, man. If I'm going to play in your band, I'm a package deal." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "You know, I've always played with the same drummer." And I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, you can't play with other drummers? Like, what is that?" And he said, "No, I just don't want to." He said, "You know, I want you to meet my friend Chris." And I mean, Chris's work spoke for itself. It was no brainer. Yeah, let's get him on. But it was just funny because, you know, those two, they're just two peas in a pod. They're Forrest Gump-esque sometimes.
Peas and carrots.
We were like peas and carrots again.
That's right. That's right.
All right, and who's the serious one?
I guess I'm the heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm the-
I get that responsibility too. I feel some days
Yeah.
on you two over
I'm the moderate.
there. Sure.
Sure.
Now,
If I
I
had
mean,
to
well, it requires a group dynamic, right? It requires the guy that's always like, "All right, guys, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this," and then the other one who's going, "All right, bro, we'll get there." And I mean, I know sometimes I do have to be reined in because I'm like, "All right, guys, we're gonna do a show, we're gonna start announcing some stuff, we're gonna do this and that," and they're like, "Oh, sit down."
I'm just like I'm grabbing onto his shirt tail. Like, take me with you.
I make a good mule. Jump on my back. Let's go.
Yeah. Welcome.
I mean, it works though, because if we didn't have that, we probably wouldn't get shit done.
Right. Yeah, it requires that.
That being said, imagine if all three of us tried to be like that. How much headbutting
Too
would that
much.
be?
That's why you can't do that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's why it requires that ebb and flow.
Chiefs and Indians. Damn it.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I mean you see it. I've met groups. I've met anything from any sort of group, even all the way to army units. If you put too many high-strung Type A personalities, even no matter what the talent level, it's just going to create a chaos.
Failure.
It's just going to create failure. Yeah, I mean, a simple plan executed violently today is better than a perfect plan next week. It's just the way it is.
I would say I'm probably the driving force as far as that, kind of like you're saying, like, hey, let's have an agenda, let's get this practice done, let's do this thing, let's get this done, let's do that. Alex is kind of the voice of reason for all of us. You know, if any of us are kind of getting derailed or off track, whether it's me getting a little too high strung or whatever, and I'll even ask Alex sometimes, like, dude, is it just me? Like, is it just my blood pressure? Is it this Sicilian blood just wanting to boil over?
Sicilian blood.
Just over with. You know, sometimes the answer is yes.
Yeah, I've had to call him that a few times.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's why it's important. I mean, even in this podcast, I mean, for us, you got to have a friendship, but it's got to be a professional friendship in a way of, hey, bro, ease it down. Yeah, because it requires a level of honesty, right? It requires let's take a deep breath. Hey, I think we're all burned out. Let's take a week off. Hey, I think, hey, let me do this time, or,
Make sure he's not
Well,
scheduled.
he's got to be brave enough to say that, and I've got to be accepting enough and brave enough to accept that, to change it.
That
You know,
almost
it's a
could preach.
two-way street.
Humility.
The man's ready to
Not
preach a
saying
sermon.
perfect at it.
Tell some people to step down some days.
Come on down, dude. Come on down.
for
Get off the ledge.
Oh, all right. So we've talked about music forever. Let's talk about space travel.
Space travel.
What
Let's
about
talk
it?
about space travel. How important is space travel to you two gentlemen?
Well, this album, at the end of it, involves space travel.
No
Oh,
way.
no shit.
No way. Hang on, wait.
Wait, did
Hang
you
on,
do that
wait.
on purpose?
Brock here is about to have a full-blown aneurysm of excitement because his whole life revolves around us
Getting off this rock.
Getting off the quote-unquote getting off this rock.
That is a quote from
Now-
2016.
In what?
Character of the album.
Yeah.
2020.
It's got to be 2020 now.
He
Yeah.
actually wrote it about rock.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We've been stalking you for years.
I'm a cult of personality. What can I say?
Oh.
Yeah, we started this band to make this album to get on the show.
No, well, let's be honest. What really happened is Brock listened to the music and he found it at the end and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna book these guys."
Not quite, but okay. Now, what in the album entailed space travel? I mean, tie that in for me.
I guess kind of a broad stroke would be you have a character who's basically a malcontent, is not content with anything. There's even the second song, The Getting to Where We Belong, which is basically the breaking up of the love interest, leaving the love interest behind. And then there's some doubt later on in the album. The last song, which is Pilot's Last Words, involves him achieving his goal, breaking through the atmosphere and actually getting out. So that's kind of what it all is. The first title, The Takeoff, The Danger, it's what it is. It's setting up, is this going to happen? What are the consequences behind it? So that's kind of why it needed two titles.
And I do like when an album has an overarching theme, and maybe it's because I was raised on, things like Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing is this big journey for this person, and I actually like that when an album. I love albums that each song stands alone and it's its own thought, but I also love when it's an epic, if you will, of walking me through.
I've got one reference, and I feel a little bit educated.
Don't
but
say Daft Punk.
No, Seether, Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard that album, but like that whole album, wasn't that an ode to a friend of his that killed himself in the journey?
Well, I think he wrote that in Rehab. If I'm coming off,
maybe it was Rehab.
I'm coming off the cuff here.
But it all kind of revolved around that same that little dark space and his journey out.
his dark place inside his head.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I really thought you were gonna say Daft Punk.
Say what?
Daft Punk?
I don't know what that is.
That's the
That's
French
that's
EDM
the
guys.
French, that's the French helmet guys.
Daft Punk's pretty dope.
That leads me to my
so
question.
in your face, Matt. I don't
I'm
even know
not
who
saying
they
it's
are.
bad. I'm just saying they did a whole series of music videos telling the story about some blue aliens that get attacked. You actually should watch it because it is interesting. But
Should I be like stoned or?
no, not well.
It's a legitimate question.
Yeah,
Did say blue
yeah,
aliens.
yeah. Get stoned.
So I need 12.
We don't get trapped in the closet with it or anything like that.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
What was that? Drinking out of cups or whatever? that little video or whatever. That's the recording of the guy. Yeah. I love seahorses.
Yeah.
Seahorses. Whose chair is that?
Mr. Walkaway Hands.
Mr. Lead me up to the building.
My
Fuck
shit,
you.
problems.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Knots, Mr. Tying Knots.
It's not my chair. Not my chair, not my problem.
I love that. How are you the one that doesn't get this reference?
I have no idea what the fuck y'all are talking about.
Well, let's set that all to the side because I actually had a question. What kind of music do y'all be listening to?
Y'all
You, that's you all.
B. No, you all B.
Shoot.
Yeah,
One of them's from Monroe, admitted earlier, so this is actually his native speak. So,
Native speak.
No, but what kind of music do y'all find yourselves listening to?
I think me personally, I'm into the more like modern prog bands. Some of my favorites are Pliny and Between the Bird and the Ape and Animals as Leaders. I can't speak for everybody else. I know that they're more into. I know Cade is more into like the older prog and more like R&B type stuff.
Yeah. Kate's definitely like a Grateful Dead,
Yeah.
like definitely a fan of that. Not that he doesn't like the modern stuff, but that's probably what you're gonna find him listening to, stuff like that, funky stuff concerning the bass. Chris, he's definitely into like modern prog. He likes stuff, and then we all do. But Periphery, I know their drummer's a big influence on him. Awani, I know he likes them a lot. Can't forget Intervals. That's a big one for me as well. So probably a lot of bands you guys probably never heard of. But
yeah, I'm right there in that boat.
Well, Grateful Dead was a big
up to
one
the
I
level
played.
of Teeter or who was it earlier? Crossfade. But
Yeah, I know.
No, everybody heard like one song from them, but my thing was, growing up poor, I had like 2 CDs, and theirs happened to be one of them, so I listened to every song at least 200 times.
There was.
I did stuff before Wi-Fi. People forget.
Yeah.
It was
Oh yeah. Before the internet was even a thing, before Napster, and I remember what was it, LimeWire and things like that.
I didn't have none of that. I had a CD and a Walkman.
Quick.
Yeah,
Nah, dude, CDs and Frostwire, man.
I can't remember how many times I'd be on the bus as a young man and I'd just listen to the same CD.
And it was
over
always
and
so cool.
over.
What about that one kid that would sell the bootleg CDs?
Yeah, and I don't even know back then really how you made them, but yeah, there was always that guy.
There was that guy that burned them all.
Yeah, I knew a kid that had his own computer and LimeWire, and he'd download everything from there. So who remembers using tapes to record the radio? I used to do that.
I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made my own mixtapes.
But
DJ Fraley.
But whenever I did it, cassettes were on the way out.
Yeah, same. We're the same age.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was right smacking them. I mean, I remember things like, oh God, I'm gonna age myself, but I remember America, the Creed album, America. I had it on cassette.
Creed has an album called America.
Yes, they do.
If y'all are gonna hate on me for Crossfade, y'all are roasting for Creed.
Whoa! You couldn't hate Creed when it first came out.
What
I
was
mean, no one knew that it was going to be the sound of every song from every band for the next decade.
Arms wide open.
Hey,
He just seems
Oh,
like
that's
he has
pretty
Scott
good.
Stapp.
Pretty good, wasn't
he
it?
seems like he has a potato in his mouth, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, Five Finger Death Punch, who, I'm not like a crazy fan of or anything.
Hey, y'all ease up because Matt Lofton has a deep line.
They could do critics. I mean, I like them, but damn. It's fine. You can talk trash. I understand.
let me get some cream for that butthole. Hold on a second.
They do good covers, and you got to admit that.
What I'm saying is this: there's this song they have that's like "With arms wide open," and he sings just like Scott.
Really?
I actually know the exact one he's talking
Direct
about.
rip-off, man.
I thought the
Everybody
same
knows
thing.
You cannot write "With Arms Wide Open" or "Take Me Higher" in another song ever again.
Right? Yeah. He would take a phrase or whatever and he'd kill it. 6 feet from the edge is done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's over.
You know what? That song actually just get me a little bit pumped up.
No, there's nothing wrong. See, that's the problem. It's like there's like 2 songs out of Nickelback that I'm like, all right, I'll
Okay.
listen to that, and then the rest of the thing I just chunk.
Hang on.
Hang on, Tyler. So I was holding the guitar the other day, and I fell down the stairs. I accidentally wrote a Nickelback song.
What? Fell down the stairs and wrote a Nickelback song.
Yeah, it was an accident. It was a total accident.
I'll go ahead and put myself out there. I found myself at 3 different Nickelback concerts. I found myself at 2 different 3 Days Grace concerts, and I've seen Seether 3 times as well.
I love
And
Seether.
I've seen Breaking Benjamin twice.
Seether as a show is amazing.
I didn't pay $1 for. It was always an invite type deal. A couple of those, it was in New Orleans at an arena suite where the drinks and food were free, and it's like, hey, might as well go.
Right.
Not a big deal. So when you say Seether, I was actually at a Seether concert show deal or whatever. I think it was at CenturyTel Arena here in Shreveport at that time. Yeah, it was CenturyTel at that time. And the lead singer cut the set short 4 songs in because he couldn't stand anymore. He was so messed up.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Whenever you find out he went to rehab, and it wasn't just rehab; it was rehab. It was like, ooh.
Detox, rehab, some psychoanalysis. I'm sure he got the works.
I mean, he got a whole album named after. I mean, wrote about him, right? The Amy Lee album, wasn't that about him? The Call Me When You're Sober.
Yes.
I think something like that.
Yes.
I know they had that song together or whatever, Broken. Or
Yeah, Broken.
Which
Yeah.
the first 30 times you hear it is an amazing song.
It still is an amazing song. Just because you listen to
I
it
noticed
so
the
much
third
doesn't
one.
mean it's
I
not.
burn it out.
Well, see, the interesting thing is, I heard it originally, and their original release didn't have Amy Lee in it.
Really?
And
really?
yeah, so her parts, the original release doesn't have her part
Right,
in it.
yeah.
And so like it's just this one side of a heartbreak story. And you're like, "Oh, that's pretty good." And then you listen to what they added with her and you're like, "Okay, there's a little bit of genius in there of trying to tell the 2 sides to the story." But
got the pop,
but
man.
you had
Just freak
for me you
song.
had to start. Yeah, for me you had to start from that.
What was that, like the Kid Rock song? Didn't Kid Rock have a
Picture?
Yes, gosh,
You just pissed
I
a
love
lot
that
of
song.
people off.
I love that song.
Dude, I hate to. You
I
know
love
what?
that fucking
Kid
song.
Rock.
Band references are
Excellent.
excellent in a whole nother way.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
like-
say it again.
So your band references are like excellent on like a whole nother level. We've got Kid Rock, we've got Seether, Crossfade. Man.
He's
Thank
almost
you.
a version of Americana we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where people leave Creed alone, you bring it out to the light.
You know, everybody hides
Yeah.
their Creed album. All right. We won't tell anybody. Everybody's like, "Who is buying these albums?"
No, that's the thing that irritates me about Nickelback, right? Everyone talks shit. They made a meme out of Nickelback. I pulled up on my phone, 50 million albums sold worldwide.
Yes.
Some of you bitches
Oh,
are
yeah.
lying.
Somebody's lying.
It's like
somewhere.
all the guys that say they don't like Taylor Swift's music. Let's be honest.
Who is that?
I've actually seen her live, so
Lady Swift.
I can't say anything.
You know, there's something about you never really run away from that adolescent. You never really get away from that teenager in you. It's always there, just kind of like knocking on the surface. Hey, you know, those insecurities and all those things. So when there's songs that are wrote
Sum 41.
just
Sum 41 is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
but I mean,
I'm liking your references a lot better.
but yeah, I mean, there's that part in your mind that you never forget. You never forget those times. You never forget those feelings. You never forget those 1 o'clock in the mornings when you were sitting there. You know, well, I'm not even gonna get into some of those, but yeah,
Dude, we were talking about it yesterday. Limp Bizkit, the hot dog water chocolate starfish.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why it even came up, but it came up and just like, oh yeah, like I had that on CD. I'll go ahead
On
and
rotation.
right now.
Yeah, and Fred
Human
Durst was a
Flame by
character.
Creed, I had it on cassette.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, exactly those things. You know, it's like I'll never forget my first Metallica Black album. You know, I'll never forget the first time I heard Fade to Black, which was like
That was my favorite.
my 2 o'clock in the morning, drunk one night. You know, stumbling through my buddy's CDs, and I, put on Fade to Black, and I'm like, what is this?
Forever.
Right, it like shifted my whole world, and interestingly enough, the idea was, oh, I'm not alone in those thoughts. I'm not alone in those feelings, which is what's beautiful to me about music. Music is this poetic, lyrical, yet harmonic expression of this wide range of stuff. I mean, we play music for dolphins, and even dolphins sway to the music and
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
there's
Music's this universal thing.
There's actually a video of a woman with a violin playing outside of a dolphin aquarium, and the dolphins are just going nuts. They love it.
Yeah, so I mean, music.
Well, they love it either that or they're trying to get away.
Well, no, they come up to the window, don't they?
Well, yeah, but then they swim off real quick.
The
so-
problem is there's a dolphin aquarium. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, well, you know, blackfish, whatever.
Oh man,
The cove.
not down with the animals in captivity.
I'm not down with dolphins. Giraffes are okay.
Are you saying genocide? Like you're down with the genocide of dolphins? Like get rid of all of them?
No. Put them back in the water where they belong.
Oh, okay.
He went this way. He was like, "You're saying you should kill all the dolphins?" No.
Well, they're the ones that are going to rise up. You know,
Set 'em free.
The moment they get on the land, we're screwed. So, no.
I didn't know if you had an experience swimming in the ocean as a kid, just like, hey, dolphins, no cool. Like,
Dude, no,
A dolphin raped him.
Dolphins are fine. I'd like them even more if they raped me.
You want to talk about it?
I can't joke about that. I can't say anything about that. I think
You want to talk about what Uncle Fester did to you, Dylan?
So he had a dolphin outfit.
Oh, Jesus.
this is going to a dark place,
All right.
and I think I'm done.
Yeah, we're done.
Y'all
Back
ready?
up, back
next
up.
topic.
Back
Next
up.
topic right here. Just out of sheer circumstance, it has to be discussed at some point today. Syria. All jokes aside.
If you make a fucking pun, Brock hit him.
Let's go.
Don't
Not
make a
good.
pun.
What do you guys think?
Damn it.
Do you want to state a view about Syria? Because if not, you can tell him to go away.
No.
Uh,
Well, I mean, I'm just curious because me and Brock have a military perspective of this. I want to see what the other side is. What's everyone else saying?
Yeah, we actually play in a cover band with a guy who is in the military, and he's deciding to sign on to another, is it 2-year term?
yeah, shouts out to Jamaica Wiley. He did a tour like last year, and came back. You know, everything's good, but he's looking now at, you know, he might have to. I guess it's re-enlist or, you know, whatever. I don't really know all the ins and outs, but and he's looking at either, you know, being done or we're signing up for another 2 years, and now all this stuff's going on. So I mean, he's having to really weigh, you know, kind of the factors of the world right now. So really, it's for people like that I feel the most sorry for. People who, you know, that's directly affecting, and obviously the people that it affects overseas too. It's just, you know, it's just a bad deal. It's unfortunate, and what can we do about it really, except for try to bring awareness and try to bring other factors into people's lives that can maybe, you know, alleviate some of this stuff.
It's a no-win situation on so many sides of the coin for that. I mean, chemical warfare is.
There's too many unknowns.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
Like,
Yeah.
what is Russia going to do?
Well,
Like,
people
what's
forget
gonna
about-
happen?
There's a little term, little 3 words that's been around since World War One of fog of war.
Yeah.
There's disinformation, and it's too easy to not know what's going on. And even with modern surveillance techniques, I've witnessed them. I know Dylan's witnessed them of what we can see nowadays before we hit a target. There's still an unknown, right?
Mhm.
But there are times you got to put on your big boy pants and make a decision
Right.
and live with it.
The,
And, yeah,
the interesting
that's all I gotta say
thing,
about it.
the interesting thing about this is you talk about putting on those big boy pants and making a decision. We're seeing the same. The decision that was made seems like it's all across the board. I'm not seeing anybody way on up in the government that's like, "Hey, we shouldn't have done that."
This is the first time I've ever seen liberals go, yeah, let's bomb people. Well, I'm serious. Like, the first time. I'm not even joking. It is the first time I've seen
Well,
that.
think about this. This is one of the first times, and I don't know about back in 2013, but the videos of what had happened with the chemical warfare went absolutely viral. Like, we're talking about X-rated, like, terrible things on Facebook for the public to see. No censorship.
Yeah, it's a sad part of the. Well, I guess you know, it used to be the soldier that goes to war experiences hell, right? Because they see it, and now we do have this thing about if you really go to a dark place on the web, you really can see some videos that'll sicken you, right? It twists your stomach, and you're like, oh my god. But then you see the 6 million views or
Yeah,
whatever
this
on
isn't
it, and
even
you're
the
like,
dark web
oh
anymore.
my god, you know.
This is your grandma, your uncle, your brother, anybody on Facebook has now seen the atrocity of war.
I've always been conflicted on whether or not that's a good or bad thing to see stuff like that.
So,
I guess it depends on your mental state.
Yeah.
Some people
Well-
are not in a position.
Well, what
to-
I'm getting at is some people have a really superficial idea of what the world is,
Mhm.
and it's like really the I don't know what the right word of it is, but some people just have this weird mental picture of what goes on, and then whenever they see that horrendous stuff, it changes. Like it's like, oh, there really is this kind of crap going on.
Yeah, anytime you see that kind of stuff, it shifts you. But I would say more than not, to go through basic training, to go through certain things, it kind of pops you in a way of, I guess you go through that 2 months or whatever, or you go through some high level stress, you kind of understand what those emotions feel like versus if you just pull up a video and watch it. I mean, you're sitting there comfortably, there's no thought, you're not mentally prepared for it. I mean, that's a big shock. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that because, then I see something like they're selling, they can now sell your ISP information, and I'm like, no!
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's absolutely
Yeah, right.
horrible, but it's just one of those weird things.
Yeah, it's stuff like that that really scares me. And again, man, thank all you guys for your service, and to Jermichael and pretty much anybody out there that's serving the military in any kind of capacity. We definitely thank them for their service. And didn't mean to laugh earlier when he was talking, but back there with the hand, dude, what was all that?
Oh, me?
Got like a strobe light.
Was
thing
that
going
me?
on.
Yeah. All right. So you see it too. The
Yeah.
the lights are on us, Matt. Did you notice?
I didn't notice.
Okay,
I
because
didn't
as
know
soon
what you were
as soon
talking
as I pointed it out, it stopped doing it. Correct.
What did you
Yeah,
point
no,
out?
it was
Yeah,
What
see,
happened?
like a
So
strobe
I
light
assume
thing.
Matt thought I was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
but
I did.
This
What
right
happened?
here I was just trying to point it out
Whoa,
to
shit,
him.
what?
Yeah, you see that?
Dude, it's just the camera being smarter than all of us, so leave it alone.
Okay.
Oh, was
that-
it adjusting to the brightness?
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
some
it's
reason?
adjusting to the brightness, and it
Well,
is
there
that
was there-
sort of high noon,
That's
late
weird.
afternoon day, early afternoon day, so it doesn't
Well,
know what
Okay.
to
there
do.
was a moment where it was popping in and
Well,
out.
no, it did
very
it again.
quick.
It was because
There
the
you go.
camera auto adjusts, so it's doing something weird.
It was going ham a minute
I didn't
ago,
notice it.
and these guys noticed the strobe light as well. So I'm not
Strobe light.
He called it a strobe light.
It's a party.
Not
Let me see if I can actually just adjust the brightness of the room.
That's the
Ba-bam.
man in charge. He is the brains behind this operation.
Brains, LeBron.
Ah, don't pump up his ego.
It's your ego we need to watch.
Whatever.
I'm just an angry old gorilla trying to be an orangutan. That's all I am. That's my goal in life. I used to be like the gorilla, and now I'm trying to be like the orangutan.
Well,
Little
you're,
more
You ever
thoughtful.
watch an orangutan? He's just kind of
A
like
little more thoughtful,
Brock-
but will still fuck you up.
Brock-
he
you're-
can do it.
you're
you know?
here. You're gonna have to get way down here, homie.
I know.
You got a long way to go. I watched you chunk Michael today. Shout out to Michael.
Love you, Mike. Sorry, bro.
You had to choke somebody out?
Well, I mean, we did. Me and Matt. Matt wasn't there today. Shame. But
Oh.
no, me and Dylan did do a training session before this. I actually enjoy training before we come here. It has a way of just.
Yeah. Oh, funny thing is, a week ago he tried to schedule us at 12:30. I was like, Brock, are you silly?
But that
I
was
got
my
training
bad.
at 12:30.
My bad.
So my apologies, having to push you guys back to 1:30.
Yeah, but it was
Nah,
good.
It's all good. No problem, man.
Yeah, but we was doing some stand up today, and
Comedy?
it was starting on our feet in the training. Doing jujitsu. We all three do jujitsu, and yeah, he tried to take down, so I countered it, and his feet may have come off the ground a little bit. So, I love you, Mike.
Just being a gorilla.
Hashtag gorilla shit.
Well, everybody wants to be a gorilla until it comes time.
Every
to be a
Instagram
gorilla.
you post now has to have a
Right.
hashtag gorilla shit.
I mean, there's, the name originally was going to be Unfriendly Banter Podcast.
Really?
We had to have the gorilla in there, just.
We can't have people thinking we're unfriendly because
Yeah.
we're very friendly folk.
Well,
the contrast was nice.
yeah, the contrast is
Unfriendly.
nice. Yeah, unfriendly banter.
Banter.
And as you can see, we
If you want
get
unfriendly
through this
banter,
by
you just go to
buzzing each other's
Walmart.
balls. Yeah,
Well, that's a little bit different.
get to going to Walmart.
Yeah,
That's-
that's some unfriendly banner.
Why is this self checkout down? That's some bullshit.
What was that meme about? They were closing 1,000 WalMarts and putting 14 people out of work. Yeah, it's like, God dang.
Autonomy is the future.
Well, it does raise the question. Okay, so here we go. Let's play this game.
Oh God.
Marx, yay.
No, I'm not
Okay, we're
going
not
communism
going
with
there.
you. I'm done with you.
I
on
thought
communism.
I thought you were gonna go to Marx.
I talked about last week about how communism's obsolete. Like we completely
It was
just
never
leapfrogged the whole thing.
It was never in there.
Hush. All right. So, automation, right? Automation's more and more and more and more and more. I mean, like we have convenience store restaurants here nowadays that you don't even hardly talk to a person. They just bring your food. You just order it off a screen, and people are in McDonald's are replacing the cashier with a kiosk, and
Right.
factories are more and more automated. What are we
How
going to
about-
do with the humans?
How about the super fancy Coke machine that lets you like pick 3 different flavors? You can have like any.
Oh yeah, one Coke machine, but there's like 5,000 drinks in
Oh,
it.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely
You can put a
crazy.
shot of vanilla in anything.
Yeah, that's nuts.
What are we going to do with the humans?
Eat them.
Basically, the only humans that benefit from that are the humans that created the products,
Yeah.
and they're going to get the royalties after they sell, thousands of them to put them out in stores. But then, how you're saying, what's the trickle down effect for the workforce?
Yeah.
Probably not a good thing.
What?
So I guess
so-
you become a repairman to repair those machines.
Should we,
You get the
Art.
house-
We can do art.
Humans just become artists and,
Brock's a
Art.
hardcore Republican, so he's pretty sure it's going to trickle down. He just doesn't know
He
how.
is definitely not a Republican, but
no. Never mind.
I don't even think you should make that joke.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you later on that. Well, should we tax machines?
that
Should we give machines an income based on their work and tax it off of it?
That's
you're taxing the owner of the machine who's making.
Well, then we
the
gotta
money.
give 'em
see,
lunch
that
breaks
makes
and-
that makes more sense. What Tyler just said, or whether it was
Tax the owner of the machine?
Yeah, you can't
So-
tax a machine.
But
Yeah, you
that,
can.
you already are.
Japan's already doing it,
Yeah,
bro.
they're doing it.
Japan's taxing machines.
Yeah.
Japan
Yes.
tax their machines.
Who pays that?
The machine.
They look at they look at what the work of it does, and they look at what the human got paid, through its union or whatever, and they set up, well, how productive is it? Okay, so it should probably be paid like this much an hour, and it gets paid that much an hour, and they tax that, and that goes back into the government, and that kind of money goes into
The
welfare
money
type
that's
programs.
not taxed, what does the machine do with that money?
Yeah, I don't want to live
It
in
is
this
a
world
very-
anymore.
Take
very
care of
goofy
its robot
system.
Kids, its little round
Yeah.
sticks, it buys it some juice boxes.
These guys are on the same shit I'm on right now. I am not having this.
Okay, so the problem is you guys tried to make economy make sense.
There's a truth to that.
And then the robots think they're people, and they want houses, and
Terminator.
they're pushing our houses out of the way.
Terminator.
This is the Matrix all over
Yeah.
again.
Yes. We're not
How
sure
can
who
you have
burned the
a
sky.
robot?
I quit. I'm done.
Well, we could all just be living in a simulation and none of this
Okay,
matters anyway,
Elon.
right?
Okay, Elon.
Come back off that ledge. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Off the ledge. No, I'm just-
What bothers me is whenever I'll say something really specific, and then instantly, whether it's from my phone or from the TV or anything else, and I hear something else that's almost exactly the same thing I said or thought, and I'm like, oh, glitch in the matrix. It's all fake.
I'm just upset. I'm upset when I go to a website like one time, like I'm like, oh, that's cool little, camera tripod or something
advertises
like
to
that.
you nonstop.
And then, for the next week and a half, it's going to be in my Google toolbar,
Okay.
advertising that exact
Yeah.
tripod.
Well, that's
Okay.
because all your searches are recorded.
Yes,
and kept up
everything
with.
is recorded. So there's
I'm upset.
actually this program, and I cannot remember what it's called, but if you Google it, you will find it. You can get paid to allow them to monitor all that stuff that they're already monitoring anyways.
yeah.
You get
have to
gift
sign that
cards
away.
for like Amazon and stuff. You might as well go ahead and do it because they're getting the information already.
Yeah.
The bastards.
You might as well get your Amazon gift card for it.
I bought a set
Really
of gloves like 6 months ago, and I'm still getting Hayabusa advertisements every fucking day.
What's really terrible is when I look up like a guitar or something that I definitely can't afford.
Oh,
And it
So
just
I look
teases
it up
you.
and it's like, man, look at this guitar, man, it was so cool. Okay, let me do something else. And I'll go like open Facebook and it's right there on the side. It's like, hey, we got payment plans on that guitar you're looking at. Come on back.
well,
Come
you know,
on,
that's-
guy. Come on.
that's the thing is
Like-
everybody automatically assumes that Google and Matt. That Google and Facebook and all these things, okay, those are free services by the internet. Wrong. They're not free services.
They're charging somebody.
They make their money by advertising to you, by recording what you search, what you're looking for, the types of things you look up, and they take all that data and they collect it. And they're, okay, this guy's into fitness, let's throw supplements at him, let's throw this and this. And if you see that confirmation bias reappear throughout your news feed, that's just because that's where they're getting their payment from.
And the same is true for even like Facebook, right? You see Facebook advertisements and stuff pushed to you. You go to somebody's Facebook page one time, and if they ever sponsor a post or something, if they ever promote a post, they're going to be right back in your news feed.
Yeah.
Now,
Unfortunately, though, Facebook has strong-armed, you know, and we're kind of, I guess, on the victim end of that to a certain degree. Facebook, when we first got our band page, everybody could see all our posts. If we had a show coming up, we had
Right.
an event, we can just post it. No big deal. Maybe share it on our personal pages. Everybody sees it. Good to go. Well, now we have like 2,100 likes or something like
Mhm.
that.
You gotta
And
boost
now it's like we have to pay
it. You gotta
to
boost
reach
it.
the people who liked our page.
on the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
Yep,
thing.
same thing over here.
So, you know,
It's like we could share something and it would reach like 200 people out of 2,100 people.
but if we pay like $50 over, 5 days or
It'll get to
less
all of
or
them.
whatever,
Yeah.
you'll get 25% more. Well, if you
They're
paid 100,
automatically
you get 50%
choking
more.
your regular news feed.
Well, what's funny is they're choking me down. Whenever the people came to like the page, they obviously spent the 45 seconds to like the page. They are more invested in what I have to say than what other people have to say, right? They went and liked my page. How come I'm not popping up on their news feed?
Right.
Right. I think that
That's like triple work,
That
you know.
advertisement should go to people that haven't liked your page. It should pop up on
But
like
are-
maybe suggested friends
Yeah.
or something of similar interest. Where like if someone's a podcaster or they like podcasts, like they follow a bunch of podcasts on
But again,
Facebook.
trying to make sense out of the economy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true.
Like, oh, that makes way too much sense. No way.
Every time this gets brought to my attention, I just feel my feelings hurt. Like you're paying robots. You're not able to see the news feed of things you already like. Like this planet sucks.
What are the robots doing with all this money?
That's what I want to know.
Starting the Matrix, man.
We should
They're
test-
they're starting their own band. They're gonna call themselves Rella the Robot.
Robot.
Robot,
See,
Robot Rella.
Rella, that's a much
And they're
better
going to
name.
play flawlessly every show because they're mechanical.
That's
So
right.
they
I'm
never
feeling-
make a mistake.
I'm feeling a connection here because whenever Brock and Matt first brought it up, they just talked about it like it was absolutely nothing. But Tyler over here, he's with me on what the fuck is going on.
Well, I think it's
I'm woke.
yeah. Well, it's nothing to me and Matt because we see like we and him are constantly messing and goofing around with philosophical problems of today and logic problems and logic traps of today, and so we're dull to it. We've ate so much horse crap that it just tastes like cardboard at this
Nice.
point.
Bread, delicious bread.
nom nom nom.
Yeah.
Now you brought up something. How many guitars do you own?
I've cut down the collection.
Is that what you collect? Is guitars?
No, I mean, don't collect per se. We know a guy that collects, and he's got lockers of music gear, original stuff, and we're kind of just the beneficiaries of being able to. He doesn't play, so and I won't say his name or whatever, just in case, but. He doesn't really play, so he'll get a bunch of gear and stuff, and he'll let us test it out. Hey, make sure that 1969 Fender works. It's all original.
Oh, that's
make
gotta
sure
be
it works.
cool.
Some
and-
gangster
and-
shit.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, tell him about your amp you got from him.
Okay, yeah. So I have a 1966. It's a Bassman Head. It's an old Fender amp. I got it from him for $500. If I wanted to sell it, I could get like $1,200 for it.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
But he got it for $50. He does that. I forget what the show is called, but it's where you go like buy out storage sheds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he bought it out, and the guy didn't know what he had. It was just like he just thought it was this old beat up guitar amp, so he gave it to him for $50. And yeah,
nice deal.
He gets stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what I had either, though.
Well, I mean, it will. The thing I love about a collector's mind is a collector typically has this in-depth knowledge about one thing that'll blow your mind. Like they'll just look at something and they're like, "That's worth that. That's worth that." You know, and they appreciate it. Not only on just a monetary level, I shouldn't even have started with that, but on this, they have this emotional connection, a passion about what they collect. You know, that it's almost like, wow, you know.
Baseball people.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, he can tell you, he'll go get a new guitar or something, and I've never heard of it. And he'll tell me where the factory was and how many years they were in business and why they went out of business and who bought them. And, you know, he knows all that backstory stuff, just like you're saying. And it might only be like a $70 guitar, like, honestly, but he knows all about it. It's more of the history aspect of it.
He knows who swept the floors.
Well, I mean, humans are not logical creatures, right? We are not logical. We'll get emotionally attached to things that don't even make sense. I mean, just go watch My Strange Addiction or something. You know, we do weird things.
That show makes me sick.
Oh, how much of that feels staged?
I feel like I feel like the lady that's eating cat hair. That's
exactly what.
That's like the extreme example. That is just
the diaper lady.
No,
what?
Stop.
What? Hang on.
Stop. Don't do it. Don't.
Hang on. What?
Yeah, this diaper lady. Yeah, she eats I think she eats the contents of the diaper.
Tyler, you bastard.
Okay, we're done.
Bastard.
We're done. Move on.
Let's go back to your question. You was going to answer it. What do you collect, or you know?
About how
Please
many
don't be
guitars do I
diapers.
have?
Yes, how many
I
guitars?
think I got like 5 or 6 right now, which I used to be in double digits with guitars, but honestly, the maintenance on it just drove me nuts. Alex, how many do you have? You like 4?
3 that I play, and then I still have my first guitar I ever bought, which was a First Act from Walmart.
Yeah.
My first act.
Yeah.
We're saving that for when we make it big and we play our first like arena. We're gonna break the First Act out.
Yeah, I've still got that one, and then I have like another, I don't know, cheap guitar. I have 3 that I play regularly.
Have y'all seen it's not a music video, but it's a video of Zakk Wylde playing a Hello Kitty guitar.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What did he play? What was it?
He played NIB.
Oh, that was NIB.
He played NIB, but I mean, it was. I just chuckled the whole time, and I mean, it's Zakk Wylde, you know.
Sounded good though.
Big biker shred.
Oh yeah, dude, it's funny, and it's a little, you know, it's the smaller guitar for a small female. Looks like, but oh man.
Gangster.
Yeah, he's been releasing some funny videos lately. He's got his own line of guitars, the Wild Audio guitars.
Yeah,
I've seen
He
that.
released like a couple series of like kind of funny videos about it, and it looks pretty interesting.
And I appreciate a guy of his status that can still find humor in himself. You know, that's a healthy relationship with yourself whenever you can be like, yeah, whatever, man. Even though I'm, 6'2", 250, let me sit down with this little Hello Kitty guitar.
I think he's taller than that.
He's a big dude.
He is.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes, that goes to staying grounded and humble and everything else, which is great, but also, like, just kind of the cut of his jib, like, I know Alex and me, we played in front of many of bikers, biker rallies and biker groups, and we'll call them, clubs and things like that. And I got to say, like, they're always the most kind of grounded, cool people, like, no pretentious. Like, what's great about bikers, and the reason that Zakk Wylde, I kind of relate to bikers, because, like, he kind of rocks that style.
Oh, yeah, Black Label
like,
Society.
Black
he looks
cutoffs. Yeah, BLS is like, it's a lot of bikers like their music. It's kind of that culture, that style that they have. And what's great about them is that I'll meet one biker and he might be a millionaire, and I'll meet the next one who makes $10 an hour, doing whatever, which is fine. But like, they both treat me the same and treat each other the same. There really is something there with that kind of community.
Yeah, they're super down to earth, friendly dudes. Like, just fun to be around.
So quit fearing the bikers, people. Be more like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, take a page out of the book for sure, man.
Yeah.
I know there's good and bad and everything, but
wow.
I know a lot of good ones.
Well, I mean, that's pretentious snobbery toward any sort of other group. It will typically, you'll land flat on your face because the next guy you meet like that is just absolutely nice. It is.
Yeah.
The 1%er thing died out.
Well, I mean, the biker gangs, the Hells Angels,
Right.
the
Well,
Outlaws.
What I'm saying is the thing that all the bikers were known for has died out.
What was Jesse Ventura in the Hells Angels? No.
No.
Jesse Ventura was in what biker gang?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't even
I'm
tell
not
you.
even gonna tell you what
Bad
I think
dude.
whenever you say Ventura.
Don't
Ace
say
Ventura?
Ace.
That's exactly.
Ace Ventura.
Whenever he said
Yeah.
Ventura, I was like, the pet
He was in
detective?
the Peacocks biker gang, dude.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
That's where I was. I
This
was
is-
like, what?
This is why we don't take him out in society. This is, we just
Stay in your room.
stay in your room,
When
go
Ace
train.
Ventura
You can
rides
work, you can go to the gym, and then you come back.
off to the side.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay, so I tell you what, I think we got time for another song. We'll go through another pop. Play that thing back in. What's another one? We believe it or not, we've been almost an hour and a half on this thing.
Yeah, I would say Getting to Where We Belong would be a great one. You guys would probably appreciate it too. It was our first single that we released as a band.
Okay.
It was obviously the first single off the record we released, and it does deal with kind of matters of the heart. So
Pulling on them heartstrings.
yeah, just a little bit, and then little guitar strings in there too. So
Am I gonna cry?
I can't speak for you and what you're going to do next.
Only
You
a lie.
surprise me at every turn in a very positive way.
Thank
Very
you. Thank
positive
you.
way.
Like you first meet him and you're like, oh, he's this alpha male. He's all in the gym.
Oh no!
He-
After his fight, he watches kitten videos.
Yeah, exactly. He literally gets out of the cage, winning a fight, and goes watches a kitten video. So I don't know what to make of him. I don't know that there is a category.
I don't do after parties. I go to IHOP and eat pancakes.
And watch cats fight.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
play fight.
All right. So the next one, what was again? Introduce it for us.
Getting to where we
Uh,
belong.
Sounds like it's gonna make me emotional.
Probably, there you go.
Get your tissues out.
Take these words away from what they say. I am not the only one who said to stay. Yes, it seasons change, and all I wanted was for you to reign. Getting to where we belong, getting to where we belong, getting to where we belong, the way back home. Well, tell me why you run away from me. And I don't know if you're the one. No wait and see. And I ask if seasons change. And all I wanted was for you to reign. Getting to where we belong. Getting to where we belong. Getting to where we belong. The way back home. Getting to where we belong. Getting to where we belong. Getting to where we belong. The way back home.
All right. I was gonna save the rest of the song.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
could've zen down
now
there all day.
y'all go get on and subscribe that on YouTube. Go like their Facebook page. I mean, I'm still amazed that is a home studio recording. I mean,
I loved it.
I love the tone changes.
Boom.
As soon as I thought there was a rhythm set in that song, it switched up. And I was like, ooh,
Oh.
oh.
Prague, keeping it Prague, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm-
good. Y'all have you said you had albums out too?
No, that's our only thing we've released so far. We're
Okay.
in the process now of recording. Basically, that's even though it's 8 songs, we consider that release an EP.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's more than most rappers now.
Yeah,
You hear my SoundCloud album, bro?
yeah, right. We're gonna release a full length next, but basically, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna record our next single, release a video for that on our YouTube. So kind of get on that early. Go subscribe to our YouTube.
Hell
Really help
yeah.
us out on that.
And and next time y'all come to Monroe, y'all let me know, and we'll even give y'all a shout out. Maybe even get y'all back here in the studio again. I would love for y'all
Better
to
yet,
come
we'll
back.
go watch.
YouTube.
Well, I'll go watch.
Real quick, plug it. The YouTube channel name. What is
Man.
it, Matt?
Check this out.
I don't know.
We just created that and just made that YouTube channel. So I don't even think we have enough subscribers to make ourselves a link yet. You got to have over.
That's true. We're in the
That
same
is
boat.
true.
Yeah, so I can't even give you the hyperlink for it. What I can tell you is go to facebook.com/Rella Band. One word, RELLABAND. You're going to find our pinned post is our playthrough video that we did for the last song on our record, and it's us playing it on guitar and bass. And you can find our channel through that, and then kind of find the rest of our videos and subscribe like that.
And I'll put the link to y'all's channel in our YouTube description link as well for y'all and everything. So they'll be able to reach it that way as well.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Man, no problem. Hey, I greatly appreciate it, guys. This was fun.
This has been very
This
fun.
was good.
You guys
Yeah,
are
man.
great.
Appreciate it. Anytime, man.
All right. Say goodbye, and then we'll do a little extra. Y'all stick around. I'll holler at y'all after this. But here at Grandler Banner Podcast, as always, Brock Washington saying bye. Dylan,
Goodbye.
Matt, the Bandrella, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.
I appreciate it. Until next time, my simians.
I made it.